My name is Ranoane Chanje and welcome to Heart with Newa. To all the people that have just returned to this channel, I'd like to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. And to all the people that I knew, welcome, 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 welcome. And I hope that at the end of this video, you will be able to subscribe, like, and comment. Now in today's video, I just wanted to share with you guys a bit of lessons that I learned from 2019. 2019 was a pretty rough year for myself, you know. I went through the most, you know. It was a year that I cried more than I had ever cried in my life before. It was a year wherein a lot of things were just happening, but despite all those things that were happening, it was one of the best years on top of everything, because I achieved one of my major milestones in life, and that is graduating, getting and bagging my degree from Wits, guys. Yes, I conquered the edge, you know. And another thing, I got to travel to the United States, and that was like a dream come true. So despite all the things that I went through, it was one of the best years also. And from bad and good experiences comes lessons, and I felt that I should come to you guys and just share what I have learned in that year. And you know, every single year we set goals. Every single year there are things that we set for ourselves to achieve, and we forget to reflect upon what we did wrong and what we did right. You could learn, gather something out of it, and make your 2021 the best year and the years to come. Now, without any further ado, I would like to start with my video. The first thing that I'd say I learned in 2021 sorry in 2019 is that I should dedicate everything that I do to God. It's so easy for us to start feeling like we are able to do everything by ourselves. It's so easy for us to depend upon our own strength, our own knowledge, and our own understanding. And 2019 was mostly that for me, you know. I thought I was smart, I thought I was capable, I thought I was strong, and little did I know, because I'm not one to really cry a lot, but from 2019, I've been an emotional wreck. Like, I found myself crying more than I'd ever done so in my life. And that is not a sign of weakness, but it just made me realize that, you know what, I can't do things by myself. I need God. I need God's support through everything. I need his knowledge. I need his wisdom to overcome certain things that I go through in life. And the second thing that I learned, and that God really helped me to learn, is that I must find my identity. I must know who I am. Knowing who you are goes a long way, because who you are determines how you deal with certain situations. You know, who you are determines what you eat. It's as simple as that. And people don't realize that who you are, or knowing who you are, it affects the most little things, or the most insignificant things in your life. If you know that you're vegetarian, you know that you eat vegetables and vegetables only. And if you didn't know that you were vegetarian, you were not going to know that, okay, I eat vegetables only. But because you have defined who you are, because you have identified who you are, you now know that I only eat vegetables, you know. And with that, I learned that you can't just wake up one day and know who you are and know yourself. So one other thing that I learned was that I should date myself. Yes, there's such a thing, you know. We often want to bring people into our lives. You want to be dating this person, you know, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, but you forget to date yourself. And when you date yourself, you get to know who you are. You get to know what makes you tick. You get to know what you're passionate for. You get to identify with your dreams, to identify with your purpose and what God has called you to be on this earth. So take time. It's okay to go to a restaurant and sit by yourself. Now, the time that I spent when I was in the United States was such a blissful moment for myself, because I got to know who I am. I got to know what I'm passionate about. Like this YouTube video, I wouldn't have done it if I didn't know who I am, or if I didn't know what was inside of me, and if I didn't know that there was something inside of me that had to come out. I know that I'm a motivational speaker, or I'm a speaker because I spend time with myself. Then I was able to identify that, girl, there's something that you need to let out from inside you. Those 6 weeks were the best thing that has ever happened to my life. And right now, COVID-19 just happened, and people were on lockdown. People were sleeping. They were not investing in who they are, and I felt that that was the most important time for people to try and get to know who they are, to try and build a relationship with God, so that God guides them on who they are. The one other thing that I learned is that after I have known myself, after I have dealt with trying to identify who I am, I need to have values and I need to have standards. And when you have values and standards, you do not compromise your values and your standards, because those are your own. They are not your friends, they are not your boyfriends, they are not your girlfriends, they are not your parents. Those are your own values and your standards. And because you know who you are, you will know what your values and your standards are. And don't allow anyone to make you compromise your standards and your values. Don't ever succumb to what people see as their standards, because maybe you feel that your standards are too high. There is no such thing as standards that are too high, and this applies to everything, guys. It could be your job. Know what job you want. You should have standards for such things. Know what job you want, know what salary you want. You don't have to succumb to anything. Your standards are your standards. If I want a job that pays me 5 grand, that is me, and that is my standards. I'm not saying you should go down turning down jobs and turning down opportunities because but your standards are your standards. My standards are my standards. So deal with yourself, identify yourself, and know what your standards are. The other thing that I learned, and guys, I'm coming to one of the most important parts, because I was so hurt. I had to learn these lessons in 2019, and that is to forgive, to heal, and to move on. I'll talk about moving on first. It's okay for you to move on. It's okay for you to walk away from things that were not there for you, or things that were not meant for you. I always say that it's easier to fly when you do not have anything weighing you down, or when you don't have weight. So I'd rather I let go of all the weights, shed all the weight, and fly, because I was meant to soar like an eagle. So let go of all the weight and fly and soar. And the second thing I'll talk about is the healing part. Healing comes with understanding. We all go through different things. We are hurt, we hurt people. And sometimes you are hurt yourself because you have hurt other people. Now, it's okay for you to try and understand how the hurt came about, so that you are able to heal, because healing comes with understanding. There is no way that you're going to heal if you do not understand what you're going through. So try and understand what you're going through and heal from it. And the first thing that I talked about was forgiveness. Now, forgiveness starts with you forgiving yourself. If you do not forgive yourself, there is no way that the forgiveness is going to overflow onto other people. You can't forgive other people if you can't forgive yourself. I found myself blaming myself for most of the things that happened to me. I would find myself saying things like, it's your fault, you the one that lost your standards, you're the one that downgraded your values, and it's not okay for you to be doing that to yourself. It is not healthy, and it is not a solution. What is important is for you to understand what happened so that you heal and you find a way to forgive yourself even before you start forgiving those that have hurt you, if it's other people that hurt you. And another thing that I learned is that when you wait for an apology, you will never get to a point wherein you forgive, because some apologies won't come. So don't wait for an apology, but forgive without an apology. And I feel like that's the best forgiveness, because it's so genuine. The person doesn't have to come to you, the person doesn't have to apologize for you to say I forgive you. You just need to forgive because it's good for you, it's good for your health. And one thing that came with that is that you should choose to love again. We are hurt, families hurt us, friends hurt us, our boyfriends, our girlfriends, our husbands and our wives, they hurt us. And it's so important for you to love again. When you've been hurt, I feel like it's only human nature to create a cage wherein you want to protect your heart, or to build a wall wherein you want to protect your heart. But guys, like I said on the first point that I learned, which is to choose God. If you choose God, you chose love. There is no way that you can choose God and not choose love, because God is love, and the Bible says so. It says God is love. So if you chose God, you chose love. Learn to love again. I know sometimes it's not easy because of the nature of the hurtings that you went through, but give yourself time and teach yourself to love again. It is okay to love again. You are not supposed to be harboring hate and bitterness because you were hurt. And another thing that I learned was that I should not go back to what God has saved me from. It could be a habit, a bad habit that I had, or it could be people, it could be family. You know, sometimes God takes you out of situations. God takes you out of a person's life. God takes you out of a habit through his own ways. You know, God is a miracle working God, but he takes you out of certain situations, and it is up to you to say, you know what, I'm not gonna go back to that. I'm not gonna go back to smoking. I'm not gonna go back to alcohol. I'm not gonna go back to that person because that person has showed me things. I'm not gonna go back to that place because that place is not for me. So it is okay to let go. It is okay to walk away from what is not meant for you. And guys, another thing that I learned, which is pretty important, was that in my season of waiting, or in my season of patience, that I should be happy for other people. Guys, when you're waiting, so many things happen. 2019 was a year wherein I graduated. I had set goals for myself, you know, for myself. I wanted to have secured a job before I graduate, and I wanted to have a life partner. I thought it was important for me to be in a committed relationship, or a relationship wherein I can see the direction. Now, guys, people sometimes in your life will be getting things that you want, or things that you are praying for, and they are not even praying for it, or they seem to be ungrateful for it. And that's where the spirit of jealousy will creep in, and it will destroy you. It will destroy your life, because whenever you look at people, you'll be looking at people with envy all the time, and that is not a good thing. So I learned to pray for people around me. You know, when someone is in a relationship that was very productive, or that looked like, you know, these people are going somewhere, I would pray for those people in my life. I'd always be happy for them. I'd always say, you know what, I want things to work out for them. that was a way that I knew how to kill any spirit that might creep in of jealousy or wanting to be like them, basically being envious. Or if someone has a job, you know, I'd want to thank God for their job, to praise God for what He has done in their lives, in their life, because I know that if He has done it for them, He can also do it for me. Another thing that I learned was that it doesn't rain forever. When it rains, it pours, but it doesn't rain forever. And the mistake that we make is that when it's raining, we tend to change our characters. We let the rain mold who we are. And now when the sun is up again and the rain is gone, you find that you have changed yourself. You're no longer the person that you used to be before. So don't let the rain change who you are. And this goes with the second last lesson that I learned, which is that labor comes with labor pains. Now we all know that when a woman is about to give birth, there are labor pains that they experience. And same goes with life. When you're about to give birth to something good, when you're about to give birth to an achievement, you're going to feel labor pains. I feel that all the tears that I cried, all the pains that I was feeling, they were preparing me for those good things that happened in my life. So the bad experiences, they were preparing me for the good experience. The tears I cried were preparing me for the joy that I was about to experience. Now it's a good thing that going to the States for me was something that happened towards the end of the year, and graduating was something that happened at the end of the year. So all the pain that I went through was a beginning stage, and the later stage or the later result was good stuff. So if I had not cried those tears, maybe I wouldn't have studied the way that I studied, and I wouldn't have made it through the course. Now, it was hard to study through the tears and through the pain, but it also pushed me to say, you know what, I can't be feeling pain here and also experience pain on the other side. I must push that side and make something out of myself, you know, have something to go out of 2019 with. And that was a degree at the end of the day. And last but not least, I learned that not every advice should be taken. You know, there are people that feel they need to speak upon our lives, but it's not everything that people say that we should take into consideration. You know, friends will be speaking upon your life. People in the streets will be speaking upon your life. It's not everything that you should take. And if you feel that what I'm saying also is not something that is relevant to your life, it's not something that you should take, because what I'm saying has its people, you know. And even the way your friend does things, the way your family does things, the way other people in your life do things, that's what they want to do with their lives. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's relevant to your life. Now, you may not be Christian and you are listening to this. Now, you might find that it's not relevant to your life, because why should you choose God because you don't believe in God? I mean, that's you, but this works for me, you know. Yeah, I think that was a pretty productive one, and we've come to the end of our YouTube video. Now, if you like this video, please hit the like button. Please comment down below. I love to engage with you guys. Like, what did you think about the video that we just had today? What did you think about the lessons? What is it that you learned in 2019 that you would like to share with me? Because I also want to learn from you. And I'll see you again when I shoot my next video, or when I post my next video. And I'm very excited to be here. May you guys have a very productive week, and learn as much as you can, so that when we post again, you share what you have learned. Thank you so much. Bye.